Good evening, beloveds. It is I, Ade Tutu, coming to you on a very humble evening. I had a very busy, busy day. Um, and I have truly this week been working very diligently in staying focused on my awareness and I guess you could say thinking of things with more intention. And what I mean by that is having a thought that is intended to manifest something in particular. So, I've been really working very hard at that. And the reason I've been working very hard at that is because I want this allowing thing to be more of second nature, something that just naturally occurs without me having to work hard at it. Anywho, you see my henna tattoo? Isn't it gorgeous? So I have like a sheet of these, and I just felt like they were getting too old. So anyway, I've been thinking a lot about the throat chakra, and how it is. It vibrates more of the truth, and that truth being something that you have to meditate on. Because, truth can bring discomfort. So you have to decide whether, first, you have to decide what your truth is, okay? And then you have to decide whether it is a scenario that you want to bring discomfort or disruption, I should say, or comfort. Okay? So that's what you have to decide. And whether or not you want to share, what comes to you through intuition or just natural thought. So I've been thinking a lot about my inner being also, because I know that inner being, your inner being, my inner being, our inner being, that will bring impulses. There's a special kind of communication that happens with your inner being and you. See, your inner being knows exactly why you traveled this journey, why you decided to do life here on earth. It knows fully well. In fact, your inner being helped to bring your destiny or your purpose into being. So, like before you came here, you had a conversation in your whole self, your whole being, right? Your soul, your total self, your pure energy came into an idea that it wanted to experience something here on earth. And it decided which spirit it wanted to manifest those things through, right? And in that decision, your path was created. So not all of your soul came, just the spirit in which your soul wanted to experience the life that you're living. So in that, the roadmap to the whole thing, the whole experience is created. Everything you could encounter or come in contact with, or everything came into view in your soul discovering that it wants to journey. So, as it comes into a physical form, first of all, it has to choose who is going to bring it into a physical form. And so here on this planet, there has to be conception. And in conception, there has to be an egg and a sperm coming together to create a physical being. So your soul decides who it wants to come through. Okay? When it decides the parents that it wants to choose to bring your soul, or part of your soul, because part of it stays in the heavens or in a spiritual realm. So when part of you, the spirit, which is the one that has the mission, the part of the piece of your whole being that has the mission to come here to create whatever it is that the soul feels it needs, comes through your parents, and voila, you're born. Your soul is then placed into this physical existence with the idea of in mind, of the purpose that you're supposed to be living out. The mission. So, I know that there is a philosophy, a religious philosophy that says, that you never ask to be born. You hear it a lot in the Christian faith, where you'll hear people say, I didn't ask to be born. I didn't ask to, but yeah, you did. Okay? When you go back into the ancient teachings, you will begin to understand that there is an idea that you chose to be born, and you chose your parents, and you chose all of the things that came with your parental choice, whether that's poverty, whether that's, whatever, hardship, and even the joys. You chose it. Yeah, you did. And so as you're journeying, you begin to actually, when you come through the threshold, right, of the womb, you forget all about all that other stuff. It's completely and totally physical. Or should I say, it's partial spiritual, partial physical. But the people you encounter don't understand that they must participate in the spiritual. So they force feed you all this physical, the whole way through. As you get up and you go to school, it's all physical. When you begin to understand and discover, the world around you, it's all physical. No one is pointing back to the spiritual situation at all. In fact, you're more or less coming to that understanding through maybe impulses, maybe little hints that, you come by, or wonder mind. That's what my mother used to say. one of mine told me that whisper, that impulse that is something else that's maybe leading you to a place to of greater understanding. Just an impulse, just something very simple, something very very quaint, I would call it. A reminder to get back to spirit, to get back to that commitment, to get back to that inner being that brought you into this physical experience. So I guess I want to really talk about allowing that inner being to lead you to success. But what does that look like? Well, I can tell you, it comes in an impulse. And when you're dead on it, you feel good. You feel blissful. Everything is going very, very well. When you're away from it, it feels like hell. Feels like things just can't come together. Things aren't going your way. You can't see your way through it. It just feels like nothing is ever going to work out. That's how you know. Honestly, that's how you know when you are in alignment with your inner being. And the things that make you feel some kind of way bad, that's when you know you're not rolling with your inner being. Because your inner being don't hold hostages, don't hold prisoners. It is exact. It knows exactly what it wants. It knows exactly which way you should go. It knows every route you should take to success. In fact, a lot of the things that you don't want to do, you might want to look into it. Because that might be something that you need to do in order for you to attain alignment. It's this wonderful, magical thing, this inner being. In Ifa tradition, we call it Ori. We call it Ori. Ori knows all things. If you want to make money, you talk to your Ori. If you want to take on a spouse, you ask your Ori. If you want to start trading and doing business, you talk to your Ori. And the best time to talk to Ori is during meditation. That's what it's meant for. And I'm not talking about like a long, drawn-out session where you're creating an ambiance, and, music, sage, and all these different stages that you come. Sure, if that's what it takes to get you focused up, then by all means. But it can be much more simpler. Just a 15-minute quieting the chatter of your mind, honing into a sound that you normally hear. Like most houses have like this hum that you can hear. And it's always there. It's just maybe the way the sound happens between the structure. I'm not sure. But whatever it is, most houses have it. And you can just set your timer for 15 minutes. And when the mind chatter, that's what I call it, chatter, comes to your brain, it's just stuff. And it's supposed to be there, right? Because you have different components. You have a physical component to yourself, and you have a spiritual component to yourself. And in these components, you have to know that they operate however they operate. There isn't anything that you can do to stop that, right? So your brain is having uh, chatter. I mean, you have all this synapses happening, all this firing of electrical energy going, and that's how your brain is telling you to move your toe, that there's an itch or that there's a whatever, however it needs to respond. That electricity is going on in your brain. What's going to happen? That's its natural function. But when you have your spiritual impulses, those are different, right? They come in a different kind of way than your physical impulses, right? So you have to learn how to stop the mind chatter, or not stop because it's going to happen, but not check into it. You don't have to check into it. You can let it rise and fall like your breath. You don't realize it because it's such an involuntary act, right? You don't really hone in on when you're breathing, when you breathe up and when you breathe down. You should, though. You should. Because it's an indicator of how you need to allow your thought, your brain chatter to happen. Just don't weigh in. Make time when everything is quiet to hone in on a conversation with your inner being. You'll be surprised. You'll lose something. Once you get the function of it all down pat, you'll notice that you may lose something, and Wonder Mind will tell you, hey, go over there and get something else. You may be on a completely, totally different mission. And on your way to going to get something else, you'll find exactly what you were looking for. It'll be just sitting there because that is the relationship that you have with your inner being. And when you get to a place where you can truly, truly have that relationship with your inner being, you'll have success. And the things that you desire most will come to you. Because for one, you'll be controlling your thoughts. Because on this planet, your thought becomes things. So if you have an awareness of what you're thinking, and you have enough courage to redirect those thoughts, then the possibility of you being able to create what you will, meaning whatever it is you're willing to accept to have in your life, it will come very naturally. And you'll become very, very fulfilled. And in order for you to have good things in life, you have to have satisfaction. And when you're satisfied, you're happy. So guess what? Your thoughts will reflect happy thoughts. And what you vibrate to you will be happy things. So, if you will, allow yourself to tap into a relationship with your inner being. And I mean relationship because it is something that you will steady yourself for daily. It will be the staple. It will be the pillar. It will be the thing that you reach for before you reach for anything else. Your inner being will take you beyond your wildest dreams, and you will be having the success that you want in life. So I wanted to share with you this blissful way to conquer all of your heart's desires. And I hope that you take the journey to creating a beautiful relationship with your inner being, your Ori. Have a very nice night and a very blissful journey. Odaro.